Thank you to Hands Off Korea, and it is an honor to be introducing Soobok Kim. I first met Soobok Kim at a meeting of Veterans for Peace, New Jersey. He's a member of Veterans for Peace. And he opened up describing the impact. He and his two sisters were hit by U.S. airstrikes, July 28th, 1950. And his single mom then had three kids, aged 3, 6, and 9, all of them injured, to take care of. So you can imagine, in a country that has been totally laid waste by the war. The end of the Korean War, U.S. bombers returned with the bombs still on the planes because there were no more targets. There was no building above one story left standing. And everything in terms of infrastructure had been completely destroyed. So every Korean of that age, of that era, was impacted in this war. And it nationally traumatized the entire nation and divided the country. Soobok Kim was raised in South Korea and came to the U.S. in 1976, so a little more than 40 years ago. And he was in a study group in the early 1990s, began looking at Korea, and then visited North Korea, DPRK, for the first time in 1995. And he said it was an opportunity that really opened his eyes to a very different society. And he's made 5 trips there, taken quite a bit of video and photos, and explained things about the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in a very understandable way, and a way in which we don't hear here in the U.S. at all. I was fascinated by it. I mean, when we call on the U.S. to sign the peace treaty, to end the war, to end the occupation of the South, but still, it doesn't take up a lot of questions, which I had always asked myself at the back of my mind: how on earth has North Korea survived the harshest sanctions on the planet? I mean, against any country, the most extreme sanctions. How has this country not only survived, but is today a modern and in many, many ways industrialized? And this is what's frustrating the U.S., not only the Trump administration, but both the Democrats and Republicans. It's not a question of nuclear weapons. It's a question of they can defend themselves. They're not defenseless. Mm-hmm. And the U.S. only wants defenseless countries where they can just walk in. So they're outraged at that. But still, it's a question: how do people in everyday life survive under these conditions? And how do you feed a population? How do you have electricity? People are not living in caves or in hovels. They're beautifully clothed. You see the pictures. You see the daycare, and as Julie was describing, maternity care and so on. So anyway, when Soobok described just a little bit of it, I rushed home and looked up a couple of his articles that are now on Zoom in Korea, and I think we want to make a link to this, get this out even more widely, where he explains some of these questions about science and technology in Korea, in the North, and what they were facing. So I don't want to take a word of it. He's got to describe it all. And also what they were up against. I think that's what impacted me the most, what they were up against, and then in very concrete ways, how on earth they've overcome it. So please join me in welcoming Soobok Kim.
Sarah, and everybody. I have a language barrier, so I try present you photo and video more than my poor English. And Sarah didn't introduce me. She missed one thing. I'm tour guide, rather, today. I'm going to show you North Korea to you. So I'm bringing to you now to Pyongyang City.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Do they want the lights?
Yeah. Just turn down the one over here.
Thank you, A-Bear. Nice setup.
I will.
Okay. Okay. Lately, I visit DPRK 2012, 13, and 15, and I tried to visit last year, but already the Trump government travel ban the announced, so I couldn't go. So these photo videos from last 3 visits. And this, the Pyongyang Great Theater. I took this photo first night, my arrival on 2012. And through my window, my hotel room, I took it. It's beautiful. But your tour guide going fast
Okay.
because limited time. Okay. And the next day was Sunday. I had a lunch over here, the famous the noodle in this beautiful noodle house. I wanted the hike to Moranbong Park. In the Moranbong Park, there are many students studying, so-called small study group. After class, they make a group. Some on sports, some on music, some on painting. This girl doing painting. And our young girls came there and laughing and talking. I offer, can I take your photo? They say, yes. So I took a beautiful photo. Much different from South Korea? Different? No. Yeah, in the almost the top of the Moranbong Park Mountain, 2 gentlemen concentrating on chess, Korean chess, and the other surrounding bystanders. I couldn't tell you much, but each person has each unique face. And I realized that a couple, woman and man, is like a dating. Yeah. The photo doesn't show, but I watch it a few minutes, then I detect right away. And I was passing by 2 couple picnicking, and I show my smile. Then one lady called me, why don't you take her a glass of beer? Why not? One place, this aged ladies had a meeting. To me, beautiful meeting, very well organized. I don't know what they are talking about, but my guide told me, don't go too close to them, you bother them. So I took far away, so I couldn't hear what they saying, but I'm speaking same Korean, I can understand right away if I approach close. Shooting game. And young kids playing catch fishes. And while I coming down, I saw strange. There are plenty shade next to them. They are sitting under hot sun. I took photo, then I realized, look at them, their hand, right hand, then the boy's shoulder angle. So I see under the umbrella, I could see what's happening. in the park, packed, and many places they are dancing groups. Mostly women, very few men. This is an old Korean folk song, popular south or north. I was fascinated at their young kids. Oh, okay. I move next one. People going around, someone coming in, someone go out. I watch it. When I came back from the trip, I showed this video, someone, Korean. She said, "Oh, North Korea set it up for you." She didn't visit North Korea, but she knew a lot more than me. She read the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, this woman, backpack, interested in dancing, and putting down backpack. And joining. Yeah, she take care of her hair and joining, dancing, slowly. Okay, I want to move next one. I think they are older than 80. They take her stairway, and this lady conduct her. And these two ladies are dancing. 세월이야 가보라지 이내 마음 늙을 소녀. I look back my life. Okay, I move next. This is another place. Too big. There's a Taedong River in Pyongyang City, and I took it same day but different place in Taedong River. The song is our daughter-in-law. In American, my daughter-in-law, but Korean, our daughter-in-law. Our. Koreans say our bank. We never say my bank. Our bank is a Bank of America. I think all the community. So even we never say my wife, our mother. Sorry, if you understand the lyrics, you understand much better, but still you can see. Okay, I move next. Okay, fishing man along the river. And this boy was a hero. This younger kid, amazing. Oh my, how did you catch the fish? Like this. And in the river, a lot of people are boating. And I saw this couple, their first meeting. I see it right away from my experience. And why not? I joined them. I tried pay money, but the owner said, no, you free. Anyway, it's a very cheap price, very cheap there. And next Monday morning, rush hour in Pyongyang City. And there are people waiting for a bus. And a lot of people walking, crossing the bridge, the Taedong River Bridge. Going kindergarten, I believe. This kid is still sleepy, his eyes. And a lot of cars in Pyongyang City and other city also. Compared to my previous trip, compared to America, much less cars, but traffic police woman. I don't remember I've seen any traffic light in Pyongyang City. I don't remember. Maybe there's no traffic light. And I always I synchronize. I go same time as a Pyongyang International Trade Fair. So this again trade fair at lunchtime. I order Taedong beer. Taedong beer, really tasty beer. And I was relaxed. I see something. Wow! Look at the pocketbook and dress collar, high heel, hairstyle. Wow! Something in Pyongyang City. Then, they should be closer. So to me, it's strange. So I keep watching far away. It's not close, far away. Look, then I realized, wow, they're arguing, something wrong. And rollerblading, very popular in Pyongyang. Very, very popular, yeah. And our woman group, they are laughing. And so I was curious. I approached them, ladies, what makes you so happy? Then one lady said, why not? And it's another park, they are playing American poker. The Pyongyang, believe it or not, they too much is smoking American cigarette. I don't know how, but that's no good. Dress shop in Pyongyang City, and a public bath and a recreation center, a nice new building. It's strange in America, public bath, but that's a healthy place in Asia, South Korea, North Korea. And after the public bath, the grandma and a child still wet hair, so I took a photo. And school kids coming out, and they play music. It's a kind of a service. And this girl servicing flute in front of my hotel. And this girl reading while walking. I visit one middle school and English class. Teacher and the students speaking English only in the class. And it's Wonsan, another city. Wonsan is here. Pyongyang is here. Wonsan here. In Wonsan International Youth Palace, day of entrance. every 10 days I heard the new entrance, new reception. The youth palace really luxury, too luxury. Swimming pool and other facility, to me, too much luxury. But they invest for young student like a king of the country. This is a ski resort in the near to Wonsan, Masingnyeong. They try to import from Italy the lift. They failed because of the sanction. Then switch it to Switzerland, again, ban. It happened 6 years ago, and North Korea forced to make by themselves this resort lift. I found a friend. We're speaking same language, so easy. Today I find some 30 friends over here. He's very happy while we're talking. No complaint. Already we are heart to heart. Yeah. And midnight, we wanted to stay more, but we have to say goodbye. And I have to watch time, 8 o'clock. To understand North Korea, it's very important to understand the disasters in 1990 in North Korea. 1990, the Russia and Eastern European countries collapsed. And North Korea lost 80% of our foreign trade, 80%. And 1995 and 97, 2 consecutive floods. The oil mining went underwater. North Korea depend upon a mining industry, I think 90% or 80%, yeah, very heavily. I'm not sure the percentage, but mining industry, #1 industry after agriculture. And 1993, from 1993 to 2009, North Korea called arduous march. The North Korean leader invest last budget to technology, not for food, not for importing grain. And 2008, 2009, North Korea industry resumed production, not just resuming, but with cutting-edge technology. By the way, I read North Korean media every night, 2-3 hours. I depend upon South Korea past 50 years, so now I'm switching to North Korea a little bit. So I invest 2-3 hours a day. And Korea and its situation. Korea independent for thousands of years. U.S. and Soviet occupied in 1945. Russia pulled out 1947, I believe, but U.S. staying still there. Korean War ended 53. Only ceasefire. War can start at any time. More than 100 U.S. military bases still in Korea, and 28,500 GIs there. But we don't know how many more, because South Korea can't touch how many. Large-scale U.S. military exercise repeated annually. They threatening regional peace. U.S. agreed just a month ago, January, postpone this year exercise after Pyeongchang Winter Olympic. So I hope they continue postponement. Thank you. UN sanctions. Since 2006, I wrote here 10, but beside the US sanction, American sanction, Japan sanction, South Korean sanction, zillion sanctions against North Korea. North Korea really binded with I'm sorry, I don't know the language. And this is a trade fair inside. Physical fitness, computer center, investment seminar, but because sanction is overused, whatever they do, nice investment center. North Korea produce heavy trucks. This truck, 3 ton, 102 horsepower, 11,000. Very cheap. Supersized freight car for mining. And USA is saying North Korea smuggles some heavy ICBM carrying heavy car from China. I don't think so. North Korea produced before China did. Thank you. And because I'm interested in the agriculture, I visit Namhung Used Chemical fertilizer company. It's coming in like a torrent, the fertilizer. I touch fertilizer, it's very warm on my hand. It's a shipping department. And the fertilizer industry, there are 3 major companies, Namhung, Hungnam, Suncheon. During arduous March, fertilizer production decreased sharply due to less petroleum available. The fertilizer produced from petroleum, naphtha. North Korea, no naphtha, no fertilizer production. However, the leader invest in the technology. They found replacing naphtha with domestic coal. So by 2009, the 3 companies producing plenty fertilizer. Sanction doesn't affect the fertilizer industry anymore. And I visit Cheollima Steel, the biggest steel company in North Korea. The steel coming out, and stock room, huge stock room, and a propeller vessel, and a steel industry, 1, 2, 3, 4 large steel company. I visit first one only. North Korea has abundant iron ore and limestone, but coks, the coks is high calorie coal. They have to import from China or other companies. They used to do, but during the arduous march, they couldn't do. So again, scientists developed new technology, replacing coks with low-calorie anthracite, which is plentiful in North Korea. So again, they overcome. Sanction doesn't work in steel industry either. Then this, the waterway, built higher than rice field. Can you imagine? Usually, great. The farmland, irrigated from a river, but a river usually lower, so they have to pump water from a river. But the North Korea, no problem pumping before, but during arduous march, no fuel. So that is why North Korea famine happened, hungry happened, no fertilizer, no water. But as I said, North Korea solved fertilizing matter. Then they solve water this way. They built waterway. I show you more. Okay, the high mountain, they put a dam and they put a tunnel, and sometimes a water bridge, water tunnel, all the way down to a farmland. They first did here, 1999, during the Audience March. Second one here. Third one here. This 160 kilometer from here to here. This one 200 kilometer. This one I forgot, but very long. Very difficult job. This project alone, 90 water tunnel. For people working really hard. When they're hungry, they didn't give up. They built waterway and irrigation completed without electricity, without petroleum, irrigation done. Not only this one, now they are doing here. Now North Korea are doing here, and another one, they are doing another one here, much bigger, but this one. So they call natural flow waterway. The waterway built 15, 20 feet higher than farmland from dam to all the way down. Electricity saved, and they generate electricity from a dam.
Wow.
I visited Pyongyang Vegetable Science Institution. Huge, the vegetable grown, I forgot the English, is done by water.
Hydroponic?
Right. How do you say hydroponic?
Hydroponic.
Right, hydroponic, that's right. North Korea build one factory, sample factory, then it's spread to a local area. So this is a sample factory in Pyongyang City. Endless, huge.
Wow.
And this is the orchard, Taedonggang orchard, huge. I don't see the end. And this is the livestock animal farm, Seoul City size, huge size. Sarah, you read it in the zoominkorea.org. Yeah. This one is the white letter in Korean say, "Be young, blessed Mother Earth." Huge, big character. And the 200 ships per each house. Grain production about enough. Now they are upgrading diet. Fresh vegetable and mushroom booming in North Korea. Fruit, especially apple. Animal protein from goat and sheep. Fish from ocean. And farming, pool farming. So pretty soon, North Korea diet, a very healthy diet. And energy is problem still. The Pyongyang City underpass lit dimly. They save every bit of electricity. And a nice building, the natural light. They didn't turn on light bulb. There's a light bulb, but they shut off. And they utilize every small water source, hydro power plant. And solar water heater, very popular in North Korea. And wind power water pumping, very popular. Energy still serious shortage. Hydropower 65%, the thermal power 35%. But they are working very hard, building a lot of new power plant now. A small size experimental light water atomic plant under construction, and a carbon one industry under development. Do you know anybody carbon one chemical? Carbon one. North Korea try extract fuel from a coal. They want to make the petroleum out of a coal. They call it carbon one industry. And I visited huge apartment complex, 24 apartment there. Each apartment attached the vegetable garden. Apartment take care of a garden. They grew and they take it, cook. 24, yeah, beautiful. Then for wintertime, they have a 4 greenhouse. So year-round, they supply a fresh vegetable. And this lady, Yang Hae-ok, Miss Yang, her great-grandfather, famous North Korean scientist. I read his book, and I mentioned about him. She came to me, that's her great-grandfather. So we became friends right away. And she took a 2-piece ripe tomato. So I took tomato up to Beijing. I couldn't bring it to USA. And a small greenhouse, she has a pig pen, 11 pig. And this protein plant and mugfish or mudfish living together, loach of mudfish together, the chain food system. And this protein plant, the Miss Yang take it, give it to pig. Pig love this protein plant. And the cooking done by methane gas from a pig excrement and a vegetable remnant. A small size greenhouse. You see the chain here. Livestock by food chain, North Korea, now almost all collective farms and special livestock farms, they have a real supporting business. They do livestock business, livestock growing. Even school, office, factories, apartment complex like I've shown you here, military units, even construction site. If they do construction for a year like that, they make real supporting business. They grow pig, chicken, and gardens. They call self-reliance in North Korea. Thank you. And I visit the National Science Academy. I'm not a scholar. I didn't have a background the learning the North Korean science. But while I'm learning North Korea, I have to learn science. So, and also North Korea made it easy. Everybody understands science. Yeah. Breakthrough, cutting edge. What I found in North Korea, science and technology first policy everywhere, and self-reliance policy everywhere. And I don't have a photo here, but they say everywhere, individual for whole, whole for individual. And they work so hard in waterway construction, hydropower plant, agriculture, everywhere. And I felt sustainable socio-economic model North Korea created. So I feel what we need to do, we have to exchange scholars, artists, sportsmen, tourists. And I say, let Koreans decide their fate. Do you think I can make my fate? I can decide my own fate by myself? Am I able to do? No? Why not?
Need the whole.
Oh my God, I feel I'm 73 years old. I can make decision by myself. I can choose what I want. I vote. I thought I decide my future, my fate. Am I right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So there are 50,000 Koreans in Southern Korea. There are 25 million Northern Korea, South 50 million. 75 million, and overseas maybe 6-7 million, another millions, altogether more than 80 Koreans there. I believe they are able to decide their fate. Thank you. So I say, United States, hands off Korea. Sign peace treaty now and terminate Korean War. With your help, with your solidarity, I believe that's the only guarantee peace in Korea, peace in America, peace in Asia. Thank you.
Thank you.